Comment on any of the videos this week on Beasts of War, Facebook or YouTube for your chance to win one of our great Team Yankee prizes. This week you could win one of 2 Mega Starter Bundle sets to get you and a friend into Team Yankee, which include the Soviet Starter Set, the German Starter Set, the Team Yankee Core Rulebook and the new Leopard Book. What are you waiting for, everybody? Get your comments in, you could win. Hi guys, welcome back to Team Yankee Leopard Week here on beastofwar.com. Today we're having a look at Team Yankee Top Trumps, I think we should call this one, because it's something that you apparently have loved since your childhood, Phil. But for everyone out there that doesn't know it, what is Top Trumps?
Well, it's a card game. I picked these ones up at Bovington when I was at Tank Fest. Basically,
let me see, I should have a close camera here that I might be able to show this off under. So, these are Top Trumps cards, right. So, how do you play this game?
Well, when we get to a card, it's got basically a series of stats down here. And we've all got the cards, and we pick our card if it's our turn.
All right.
And so,
well, I'll take this card.
Okay.
And let's actually play around, okay? So.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay, my turn. I'm gonna say firepower.
Firepower. My firepower is 47 millimeters on my A1E1 independent tank.
Last, my Vickers Medium Mark II is also 47 millimeters.
Well, and then we do it again, and
so I've got a Rolls-Royce armored car.
I've got a D3E1 wheel-cum track machine.
Okay, so what are you picking?
I'll pick. I'll lose on that one, that's for sure. Fear factor 1. Power to weight ratio.
Power to weight, I am at 7.7. Or no, power to weight ratio 18.82.
9.47. Well, they're your cards. and
that's
the last one with all the cards wins.
So basically, that is how you play Top Trump. So you play until the deck's gone. You are, however, wanting to try and do this with some of the Team Yankee cards. So let's each take a nation, shall we?
Yep.
And we'll go from there. So I'll take the Americans.
Okay.
I'll take the Germans.
And I have the Soviets.
All right. Well, let's start with the main battle tanks. All right.
Okay.
So Phil, do you want to pick something out from the Russians? So which
Russians?
Or no,
Germans.
Germans. Sorry.
Sorry. Immediately forgot.
You can tell I'm not really woke up yet. Right. So I assume you're going to start with Leopard 2, yeah?
Yep. I'll go with the Leopard 2. I reckon speed is going to be one of the best things about a Leopard 2.
Okay. So what's your top speed?
72 kilometers an hour, 45 miles an hour.
For the Abrams, it's the exact same, 72 kilometers per hour, 45 miles per hour.
I'm the loser in this category because I have a 60 kilometer per hour top speed.
With the T72?
Yeah, with
so,
T72. So.
Guys, what you can see on screen here is Phil has actually done up the cards a little bit to actually have some of the real life stats on them. So as we go through, we'll call some of them up. So that's Leopard 2 with its 72 kilometers per hour. Is this a reasonably fast tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, this really is.
They don't get much faster unless you're talking light tanks.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Each of us will get to call one stat, and we'll do best 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Okay? So I'll pick out the next one. I'm going to say Abrams, it's a heavy beast, so I'm going to go for its weight.
Okay.
So my weight is 55.70 tons.
Okay, you beat me at 55 tons for the Leopard 2. It's pretty heavy, but not quite as heavy.
Yeah, and you both beat me on T72 with 41 tons.
So that's 1 tie between you and me, 1 victory for me, 2 losses for
2
you.
losses for me.
Right, so John, pick out what's best on T72, if anything.
Oh, how dare you say that, if anything? I'm going to go with, because I know I'm going to win this one, I'm going to go with weapon caliber. My T72 has a 125 millimeter gun.
All right. Where is weapon caliber on this? So, I have a 105 millimeter M68.
Well, the Leopard's somewhere in the middle. Rhine Metal 120 millimeter L44. So, so it's definitely got the biggest gun.
The Soviets have the biggest gun.
All right. Final round between myself and John, I would say, because Phil, you and me have drawn one. John has won one. I have won one.
Yeah.
So, between you and me, John, I'm going to say, again, I think the Abrams is just a big beast, so I'm going to go for its width, 6.66 meters.
Length, that must be, I hope.
No, that's width. Or no, 3.66 meters.
Oh, that's better.
I'm sure I'm sure James was probably sitting out there going, "What? It's not that wide."
What are you talking about? Well, yes, you beat me on the width of your tank because I am 3.50.
But the Leopard is 3.7.
But you were okay, so it's one apiece.
Yeah.
So for the T-72, if you have a look at the stats, it actually is really cool the way you've broken this down, Phil. So I mean, like, what way did you actually go about looking at sort of doing your top trumps for tanks?
Well, the game stats are fairly obvious. They're straight out of the game. But the rest of the stats, for most of them, just come straight out of the books. So we've got that camera still operating.
Yeah, we should still have a long camera operating. So if I call this up, yeah.
The Leopard 2 stats are
all
there.
All there.
Right.
So
I really do love some of the screenshots that you guys have put into here, some of those nice action shots. Really cool. All right, so Battle of the Tanks. I'm going to call it a draw. So we all put our card in.
Now, just before we go on, the Germans have got 2 tanks in Team Yankee. They've also got the Leopard 1. Unfortunately, it's not likely to win too many of these things. Its gun's only a 105. Its speed's 65 kilometers an hour. Its width is a mere 3.3 meters. On the other hand, it's a nice, cheap, light tank. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's for those moments whenever you're wanting to squeeze a little bit extra out of your list, I'm guessing. You know, I want a few more tanks on the field, a few more bodies to take all those Soviet munitions.
Yeah. It's about as killy as the M1 Abrams. It just needs to be very careful about getting shot at.
I see. So basically, you get yourself dug in. Make yourself basically hard to remove. Okay, Phil, what's the next vehicle we're going to look at for the ground forces?
Transports, infantry transports.
All right, so for the Americans, I've got the M113 transport, which I should have an image of here. Dun, dun. And by magic, it appears. Yes. So that's my M113. It doesn't look too bad for most of its stats.
Yeah, it's an aluminium box on tracks.
All right, what have you got then, John?
Well, I have the fantastic, the BMP-1.
You sure you don't want to go for the BMP-2?
Or the BMP-2.
Because I'm thinking the BMP-2 might just have a better shout at it than the earlier variant.
Yeah, anything's better than the 113.
All right, Phil, for the Germans, what are you rolling with?
The Marder.
The Marder. Okay, so let me find the Marder. Marder transport. I believe this is it. So, yeah, you've got some decent stats there. All right, I'll go first. I'm going to go with speed for my aluminium box. Because it's light and I expect 68 kilometers an hour or 42 miles per hour to be a reasonable clip for a transport vehicle.
Yeah, that's a reasonable clip. Yeah, do you want me to say mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm only 65 kilometers an hour.
But the Marder, 75 kilometers an hour, 47 miles an hour.
Oh, okay, defeat.
Just about keep up on the motorway.
All right, John, pick a stat for us.
All right. Oh my. This is going to be an interesting one. How am I going to pick this one? I need to find something that will win.
No, this is actually what happens when you play top trumps in real life, because you're sitting there going, it's a big number, but you might have a bigger number.
I'm going to go with the range of my vehicle.
Okay.
Which is 600 kilometers.
Well,
Well,
Russians are good at that.
I'm not so good at it with 300 miles.
Oh, the Germans, having fought on the Eastern Front, know the importance of being able to keep it up. And 520 kilometers an hour, 300 miles.
So that's 2 for John.
Yep.
All right, one last one, Phil.
Okay. Well, the Marder has an optional Milan missile.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the anti-tank rating of the Milan missile.
Okay. Well, I've got the optional Dragon missile, so anti-tank for me is 18.
Not bad.
Pretty respectable.
What's your anti-tank?
21.
Oh, we have a draw because BMP-2 has a spandrel, which is anti-tank 21 also.
I thought I was going to beat you by one on that one.
Honestly, John, you've
This
won.
is your game, Phil. You're supposed to know this.
You've won. All right. What's our next option?
Okay, well, let's have a look at missile tanks, or missile anti-tank destroyers.
Okay, well, I've got the M109 ITV. Where have I put it? Here it is. So this is my one. Let's have a quick gander at it. Very cute little vehicle.
Yep, little hammerhead pokes up the top. And
Yeah.
Such a quirky looking thing, really.
Yeah. John, what are you running with?
Well, because the Russians don't like taking vehicles that are solely for one purpose like that, you know. So I'm just going to smack talk a little bit here, because now I'm running the BMP-1.
Okay.
It's still a troop transport, but we do have missiles on board.
Okay. Is that the 83 Sagar missiles?
That
yeah?
is, that's the Sagar.
Okay. And Phil, what are you rolling with?
I'm going to cheat. I'm going with 2 cards at once, the Jaguar 1 and the Jaguar 2.
All right, well, no, I'm going to make you pick one.
Shenanigans!
So, you've got your Jaguar 1 as an option.
Yeah.
And then you've got your Jaguar 2 as an option. So I'm going to make you pick between them here. So,
Well, I'll have to go with the Jaguar 1. The Jaguar 2 was converted from a gun tank. This one's a dedicated,
okay.
you know,
All right.
can't beat a rotary missile magazine.
All right. I'm going to choose horsepower first.
Horsepower.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
Yes. So the M901 ITV has a total horsepower of 212.
Is that all? Oh, is that all?
Oh dear. I seem to be picking the wrong stats left, right, and centre. I'm ashamed. Go ahead,
A
John.
toy engine, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's a wind
Okay,
up.
I get the feeling I'm beaten by both of them.
500 horse, 369 kilowatts.
Damn.
Yeah.
68 kilowatts, sorry.
Okay, Phil's beat me on this, but I still have a respectable 300 horsepower.
Okay. So power to weight on this thing, not so good.
Well, it's pretty light. I mean, I'm 25 tons.
12 tons.
I'm 13.
So,
Yeah,
power to
but-
weight, you're probably actually beating me, even though I've got the biggest engine.
All right. Well, John, pick your stat.
No, something I'm probably not going to beat the Germans on is armor, so I'm not going to talk about that. Let me see.
Just why are you saying that? The Jaguar's armor? 9. Now that is pretty good for a tank destroyer.
Yep.
But
Yeah, well, mine's sitting at 3, not so good.
one of the other interesting things about it is the forward defense rule. 9 would normally mean that you're not allowed to deploy it on table from reserves if you've got another heavily armored vehicle on.
Right.
But being a tank destroyer rather than a tank, it's supposed to be forward deployed. So the forward defense rule means that even though it's got armor 9, you're allowed to deploy it on the table with reserves.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I mean, like, we'll have to see how that plays out. Yeah, that's the only thing to do here. John, the cogs are turning, steam's coming out of the ears. Must win, must defeat them.
Yeah. Do I have to make sure that my stat is the highest of everybody?
Yes.
It can't be the lowest.
Well, you might win on that one.
I was going to go with vehicle height. Just be like, I have the lowest vehicle of the lot.
2.5 meters.
Yeah,
for me,
1.92.
2.69.
I'm second lowest. But yours is even taller when it's got its rocket launcher.
That's probably what they're counting, is the top, the extra bit on it.
I'm going to pull one of the game stats for this one.
Okay.
And I'm going to use it. I'm going to boast that my road dash speed or my road dash distance is the highest.
Okay. My road dash is 32 inches or 80 centimeters.
32 inches, 80 centimeters.
Oh, it's a 3-way tie.
All right. I'm going to call it a tie for this one, gents.
Hey, I get a stat yet.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Now, I'm going to be boring and I'm going to go with anti-tank again.
Oh, here
Anti-tank
we go.
again.
No,
All
you've totally won this one.
Possibly not, because or no, actually. I'm seeing on screen anti-tank 23.
23.
That's ridiculous. I'm sitting on a respectable anti-tank 21.
Yeah, and because I'm just a BMP transport really with a missile on me, I only have an anti-tank of 19.
That could still kill a tank easily enough.
Sagers are still good, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's call it for that one.
Okay.
Right. Last up, let's have a look at the artillery, because they are a key component of your forces. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So for myself, I have the glorious, if I can find it, M109 artillery piece. This thing is an insane piece on the battlefield. It hurts like nothing else, and you can fire it on the move. It's still got its rate of fire 1 while it's on the move. Am I correct here, Phil?
Yep, not as artillery, but direct fire definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and with an anti-tank of 15, that is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, John, what have you got?
Well, we're not going to go with. We have two choices between the two of us, don't we?
So you've got both the Hail and the Carnation.
I have a feeling that. Yeah.
Well, there's your heel,
Yep.
which just looks like, you know,
The Katyusha's big brother.
the offspring of Katyusha. And then you also have your Carnation, which looks a little bit more traditional, shall we say.
Yeah. Well, because you're rolling only with traditional artillery, I think I can beat you hands down with traditional artillery.
Okay.
So
you're going Carnation.
I'm going to use the Carnation on this
All right.
one.
Phil?
Well, I've got a choice between the M109G,
which
is very similar to your M109.
Well, this is sort of a lend-lease piece,
And
I think.
unfortunately, though, I've got a shorter barrel. So knowing that, and that therefore I'm probably going to be, I mean, my anti-tank's 12 to your 15, I'm probably going to be a bit down on that one. I'm going to go with the Lars.
The Lars, which is the German equivalent of a Katyusha, which is just ridiculously scary.
And it's a big, long, lovely-looking vehicle.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think length will definitely be my one. So I'm going to start with length.
All right, so my length is a respectable 9.1 meters.
9.1 meters.
7.2.
Well, I'm only 8.2. Oh, well.
Well, this took a turn.
It's that damn long gun of yours poking out the front.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with crew.
Okay.
So I have a crew of 6. Commander, 2 gunners, 2 loaders, and a driver.
I only manage 5. Commander, gunner, 2 loaders, and a driver.
And I only manage 4 commander, gunner, loader, driver.
Victory! All right, John?
Take him down. Come on. You can't get all 3 on this one.
No, he can't, because I'm going to pick anti-tank rating of direct fire mode.
Okay.
Because you don't have one.
No, I'm just a salvo rocket launcher.
Well, actually, no, it's just salvo.
It's just salvo,
Yeah.
Okay, so you've knocked Phil out of the running straight off.
Yes.
Minus 15, what is yours? Drum roll, please.
It is a whopping 21.
Oh!
The Russians like their guns being able to drive up and shoot something.
Yes, you see that battalion over there? That mildly offends me. Please delete. Well, I tell you what, we'll call it for the Team Yankee top trumps on this one, because, you know, you can compare stats all day and argue it up and down. Everybody loves to do it, and having something like that is actually a really great way to do it, because look at how much fun we've had just in the last few minutes sitting, chatting back and forth, going, "Oh, Phil, I have the longest artillery piece." No, you do not, myself. No, you do not.
Please don't show me.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, guys, we'll move on here. Don't forget, you can get your comments in to enter this week's competition, which we have 2 amazing starter bundles that you could win, including the German starter set, the Russian starter set, the Team Yankee book, and the brand spanking new Leopard book. So get your comments in on Beast of War, Facebook, or YouTube for your chance to win. We'll move on here, and we will see you in the next video.